Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Come back with me to October 1982. We were last checking out Football Manager on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I know what we want to see. Let's check out the next game, and it's Frog. Oh, not quite what I was expecting. Our next video game release is Frog on the Commodore VIC-20. Let's check it out. This one marks our 279th game on the Commodore VIC-20. That's how many games we've played already on this platform. Here's the cassette case for Frog. You only need an unexpanded VIC-20 to play this. Our very first game we've played by Interceptor Software. There's another reconstructed box, and then the cassette tape. That's right, we're playing video games that run on cassette tapes here, or discs, and sometimes cartridges. I know, that's what I thought too. Let's pop in and play some Frog. Interceptor Micros, the beginning of October 1982. What is it going to be? It's load, quote, asterisk, quote, comma 8, comma 1, which means we get to load this on disc, the disc version of Frog. Majority of home computers we play either on the cassette, and most of them were released on cassette or on disc. I know the black mold, it just tells us how old these games are. I'm going to just do a fast forward, and then we go right into the game. No way, is it another one? Look at this, we have an opening. It's another Frogger variant. It's not official. Do we want instructions? Yes, yes we do. The program's loading and the controls are up, down, left, and right with keyboard controls only. That means we don't get to use our joystick on the Commodore VIC-20. I know, right? And there it is. It is another Frogger variant. All right, and I'm trying it out. Nope, joystick does not work. This is keyboard only. Oh gosh, it is brutal. Look at the traffic. Frogger doesn't, the frog doesn't even make any animation. He just blinks into existence to the next frame. It is so hard to get through the traffic though. Look at this. And the flickering has made the, where did the turtles go? They just completely disappeared. Wow. I can't believe I'm playing this. We've seen, at this point, this is the 26th Frogger variant. In other words, 26 games that play and look like Frogger, but they're not official Frogger. I mean, total, across all platforms. But, oh my, man, this is another contender for one of the worst games, or one of the worst Frogger games you can play. It is, it feels like I'm playing on basic, oh, and there we go, again? It says at the top, yes, yes, we will go again. Yeah, I have it plugged in and it's not working. It only is working on keyboard, so it already loses points for that. If it's keyboard controlled only on a computer that was marketed as a game system, and this was a computer that was sold in retail stores along with the other consoles. Wow, that is brutally hard. It is so slow. The response time is really, really bad. I'm going to say yes, even though I don't want really to go again. Yes, Chiptune, we should be tossing this in the furnace. Frog is a very simplistic game of Frogger. It's that tile-based programming. It makes it really difficult. I can't believe I made it through. Okay, I want to see if I can make it to the other side at least once. We've been trying that even with the worst Frogger variants. But wow, wait, no, that time I don't know why I died. See, this is another game. Gosh, I can barely make it through the... I'm having to delay the key press and plan accordingly. Look at this. Where's the log? There's this long stretch before the log shows up. Again? No. No, we do not want to play that one again. So official Froggers are already out there. You know, besides the arcade game, we played Frogger on the Atari VCS as well. There's lots of Frogger games that you can be playing. This makes it really difficult to rate because, I mean, we've already played the worst Frogger game out there. The worst one is Green Cross Frog on the Jupiter Ace Micro. And this one is, after that, I would say Hoppy on the Commodore VIC-20 would be the next worst game of Frogger. And then Super Frog on the VC-20, the Commodore VIC-20 in Germany, was another really, really bad one. But this one plays a little bit better than that. So I'm still going to say, of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, that is a 1-star computer game. Yikes. And then just past this one, I'd say Cricket on the Commodore VIC-20 is a little bit better game for Frogger. And then after that would be Frog Trek we played on the TRS-80 color computer. There you go. So all the worst Frogger games you can play right now on home computers. Oh, Generous 2, I'm seeing in the chat. Lots of low ratings. Arrows with 1, Brian and Manly saying 1.5 as well. I know, right? We need some more stellar games for the Commodore VIC-20. This does not accurately describe this computer. Let's see what our next title is. Coming up next, we're going to play on our Atari home computer, and it's the official release of Frogger, the very first official Frogger. I'm so excited to check this one out. Our history of Frogger begins in the arcade in June 1981. After that, we technically had an official Frogger by Konami on Japanese home computers on the PC 6001. So that one really didn't look like Frogger. This is a completely different story. After that, we saw the official Frogger on the Atari VCS in August 1982, and then we saw the official handheld, the Coleco tabletop, in September 1982. And since then, we've seen 26 games that played like Frogger, but this one is official. This one, Frogger puts on a tie. He's ready to go. So nice. The box is amazing. Love the artwork. The popular arcade game now available for home computers, and they have to call it the official Frogger because there's already that many games that look like Frogger on the home computer right now. Yes, Frogger, not frogs and flies. What other artwork do we have for Frogger? There it is. The Atari version by John Harris on cassette or on the 5 1/4 floppy disk. Oh, Frogger. Look at that. We even have a nice screenshot. Here's the manual for Frogger, even though I'm pretty sure we know how to play this one. Atari version by John Harris. Oh, yes, it's by Sierra. Sierra Online did the publishing for this one. This one did the disc and cassette version on the Atari home computer, and this is the 21st game by Sierra Online we played here on the show. There's going to be a later release by Parker Brothers when they do it on the cartridge. So we're going to be seeing Frogger again on the Atari home computer in cartridge form. This is how it first came to us in disc and cassette. How do you play? You move the frog with the joystick. You maneuver to his home on the other side, cross the highway, avoid all those things. There's the scores because you got to know the points in 1982, and they have a few special features that we'll show when we begin the game. And then, oh, music and otters are not available on the cassette version. Well, you know what? We're going to load the disc version, not the cassette version. There's the manual. And we do have a couple other versions that were available, version 1 and version 2. So there's two different versions of this, and they play a little bit differently. We're going to be popping in version 1. Let's pop in and play some Frogger. This is Sierra Online. John Harris did one of the versions, and Chuck Benton did another one of the versions in the beginning of October 1982. Let's do this. I know, it's so amazing. I'm all hyped for it to show, and I'm ready for the music. I want to crank the music. Yes. Wow. It sounds so much better than the Atari VCS. And way better than the PC 6001 in Japan. I want to bask in the Frogger goodness. Oh, that's true. If you look in the top right, there's a fast mode and a slow mode. I think I can change it right now on the fly. Yeah, there we go. So you can just switch with the option button on your Atari home computer, fast and slow. I'm going to go fast. I love that they're able to display all this. Look at all these colors and animations that are happening on the screen. And the music's going at the same time. It's amazing. Yes, I will, Chiptune. All right, let's go ahead and hit start. And there it is. Oh, man. It looks and plays so good. We got animation of the frog. It's almost like when we played the version of Centipede. Or, I'm sorry, the version of... The difference between the Atari home computer and the Atari VCS. So cool. Pac-Man was released on the Atari VCS, and then we saw the official version of Pac-Man on the Atari home computer, and it was a drastic difference. This is the same thing. Seeing Frogger on the Atari VCS and then seeing this feels like almost arcade quality. Considering the other titles that are out there that you could play. I'm already seeing the ratings out there. 4 to 4.5 to 5 from Paul. Yeah, control is very good. Fluid, and you can even see animation of the frog as you move around. And we have all the music. Look at this. All these different tracks can play in the background. If you want to, you can hit select on your Atari home computer and pause the music if you don't want to hear it anymore. And then if you boot it back up again, then it keeps going. Yeah. The other thing too, after playing that, all these terrible Frogger variants that you could play, playing the official one, notice how quickly I can get to the other side of the screen. And we got the music. Wow. Marshall's even saying 5. It once again proves how good that the Poke Chip is to give you the sound on the Atari home computer. It sounds so good. Oh, that's right. Chrono's going 4.5 stars. I'm already seeing lots of ratings being thrown out in the chat. If you've been tuning in since the beginning and seen all those Frogger variants that we've already played, you have to know that some of those Frogger variants are very, very good. And now that I've played the official Frogger, this is very good and very true to Frogger, but there's some really good variants out there that you could be playing. What really strikes me from this is the music. It makes me feel like I'm playing the official Frogger in the arcade. Music is so good. Well done, Sierra. Well, did the publishing. I mean, it's fresh. It's so good. Uh-oh, are we gonna get it? Off the alligator, nice. And it's doing what the arcade does, too. It has this great difficulty curve where it progresses as you get one of the frogs in the house at the top. Wow, yeah, it's amazing. Yep, seeing some more 4.5s out there for all the games you can play right now on a home computer. Ooh, man. Lives are at the top middle of the screen. It is a game that you cannot play simultaneously. At this point, I would still argue one of the best ways to play Frogger was Pacific Coast Highway, because it looks very good. It has the animation of the frog like this, but it allowed you to play 2 frogs simultaneously going across the screen. So you and a friend could play Frogger at the exact same time. This one does not offer that functionality. So I still hold that that's a easy 5-star. I don't know how that snake didn't kill me, but I'll take it. Oh, it got a delayed death. Okay. We even have the music for the death. It's so amazing. Yeah, this is definitely better than Cricketeer and T.I. Toad, but now this is around the same level of some of the other variants we played, like Princess and Frog. I'd say better than Princess and Frog, but around the range of Meltdown and Preppy. But I wouldn't say this is as good as Pacific Coast Highway, if you think of what you got out of that game. Oh, that's what it was. Thanks so much. Yeah, I took too long. Narrating the live show and playing Frogger is pretty difficult. Man, this plays so good. After playing so many crappy Froggers, it makes me want to replay all those really, really good Frogger variants we played. And the majority of those I talked about, Meltdown, Pacific Coast Highway, and Princess and Frog, all those are on the Atari home computer. So you could be playing those other Frogger-type games right now. If you want to play 2-player Frogger, you gotta get Pacific Coast Highway, man. Oh man, the music is king in this, though. They're really utilizing one of the best computers that can play sounds like this. It sounds so good. And Brian's even throwing his first 5-star rating of all the games you can play on a home computer out there. It's a truly impressive technical feat that they got all this happening. I mean, look at all the animation of the vehicles, Frogger, the turtles, and while simultaneously giving us the music, too. And you could switch between this and slow, like if you wanted to slow everything down a little bit. I'm just wanting to be amazed at how quickly everything moves and responds. And control works great. This will be played on the Atari VCS joystick, same one you would play on the console. You just plug this into your home computer and play. Oh, that's true. There is another home computer port besides this one that you could be playing. That was the official port. All right, so right off the bat, I am amazed. We've already played quite a bit of Frogger games. I'd say this is the not as good as Pacific Coast Highway, so you need to check that one out of the games you could play. This one's still very well done. It was surprising and very good, going from Pac-Man in the Atari VCS to the home computer, and now going from Frogger on the Atari VCS to the home computer. Yeah, that's true. We could be playing that one way later, Nebulous. All right, so of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, this one is better than Cricketeer and T.I. Toad, and better than Princess and Frog as far as Frogger games go. This is around the same level as Meltdown, Preppy, and I would say still about 4 stars of all the games you could play right now. It's done really, really well done. Because of the music, though, I'm going to go up to 4.5 and say this is one of the best games you could play on a home computer. And partially I'm biased just because I love Frogger so much. But there is other variants out there, and you should check those out too. Nice. Now, that's not all. Besides home computer releases, we got another one. The official Frogger was also for the Apple II. Let's check it out. The box should look similar to everybody that we just saw because it's the exact same box, just stuck with the sticker that says it's a disc for the Apple II or II Plus, but same by Sierra Online. Yes, the popular arcade game is officially on your Apple II. Now, Apple II didn't get as many Frogger variants as the Atari home computer, but it still had several. There's the Apple II, and there it is, the 5.25 floppy disk with the online system sleeve. Love it. Here's the manual for the Apple II version. It looks exactly the same, but this one was programmed by Olaf Luback. Way to go, Olaf. Controls are going to look the same from what we saw before. Watch where you step on that final jump, but it does show keyboard controls because you have the option to use your keyboard, and there it is, an Apple II joystick to control if you need to as well. And there is the points what we need. If you escort the lady frog home, it's 200 points. And you get 1,000 for all your frogs brought over. Very nice. All right, let's pop in and play some Frogger on our Apple II. Olaf Lubeck did this one, published by Sierra Online in the beginning of October 1982. Which version did you get first? Did you get the Atari home computer version or the Apple II version first? Now I'm curious to see what happens in this one. Oh, nice. We got a splash screen. And also, I notice, I'm going to switch the screen over. If you look down on the bottom right, it says by Sega. And every single one of these have said by Sega. Sega technically didn't give the rights to it. It was Konami that gave the rights to it because they originally developed the game. But coming over to North America, all of the rights went to Sega first, even though Sega had nothing to do with it. All they had to do with was the distribution. And then, because Sega gave the okay for Atari or Sierra to people to publish this on the home computer, that's why they have to put Sega everywhere. But you don't see Konami anywhere, even though it was Konami originally that did Frogger. So just so there's no confusion, Sega did not do Frogger, it was Konami. All right, so what we want to do is joystick play. I'm going to hit J. Let's do this. Oh, hello. That's some pretty good tunes on the Apple II. Oh, and it moves. Joystick control works. We got a little bit of animation on Frogger, but Olaf has no farts. There's no Apple II farts. It actually sounds like, or closer to Frogger. The biggest difference, though, check it out, there's no music. We have a little bleeps and bloops, but sound is a little harder to do on the Apple II. You didn't have that fancy pokey chip inside like the Atari home computer. But play control-wise, yeah, this one's definitely better than a Cricketeer. If you think of all the Frogger variants you could play on a home computer. Oh, and if you miss jump, then you die. Yeah, this does feel more like tile-based. Yeah, you can see that black outline around the outside of it. Definitely not the same experience on the home computer, even though you saw the exact same box. The same marketing was done between the Atari home computer and the Apple II. I know, there's no wet farts or the sound that we usually hear on the Apple II. So while there's no music, you got to commend them for that. But yeah, this still plays great. If you had this on the Apple II, you would not be disappointed. It would be a very fun Frogger game. Oh, I missed the fly at the end. Since it's tile-based, most of the characters, like Frogger, the flies, and the alligator, they have the black border around them, so I wanted to avoid the fly. Yeah, and since I'm not playing this on an Atari home the Atari VCS joystick, the control isn't as tight as the Atari. But I'm kind of biased toward the Atari just because that joystick just feels better to play. That's a good point. Which machine are you playing on? And here on the show, whenever I check out a version of a game, usually we play only one. But it would be good to note that when you play this on cassette or on the 5.25 floppy disk, there are some games that are very, very different. This gives you kind of an idea of what to expect. That's true, Chiptune. Maybe they did. Maybe they wanted the game to sound that way. So there we go for music. We even get an outro for the next level. Very nice. There it is. Yep. So a little bit of music, but notice that the music doesn't play in the game. Like right now, I'm not able to move. You got to wait for the music, yep, and then you go. Because it has to use all of the CPU power for the music, and then after it's finished, then you can take over and play. Oh, rescue your girlfriend, Frog. There you go. So the presentation of this one and the way this one plays is more reminiscent to some of the other games that were really close to Frogger. Really good Frogger games, but not pushing it to the level of the Frogger games that were giving you like, two-player simultaneous play or something brand new like Meltdown. Meltdown was awesome. It took place in a reactor, but it had the same mechanic. You got to get across, go get a nuclear rod, and then get back. Yeah, effort on the music, definitely. I would say for the Apple II version, it would play closer to Meltdown or Princess and Frog quality. So I'm going to say 4 stars for all the games you could play right now on a home computer. Not up to the same level as the experience I have on the Atari home computer. For official Frogger, that would be the one to go for. That one felt way more like I was playing in the arcade. The way it looks, the way it feels, gameplay-wise, reaction time. But if this is all you had, you wouldn't be complaining. Because the Atari came out later, 1979, and then this computer been around since 1977. Well, hopefully you upgraded it by now, because we've been playing on our Apple II Plus right now. Nope, go. There we go. Make it all the way to the top. Yeah, and what's cool about the homebrew scene is these computers that we're playing right now, most people have redone the games. So you can check out the really popular ones like Frogger. Look and see what the developers have made themselves now that they're more understanding of the hardware. Yeah, definitely not bad. I'm still going to go 4 stars for Frogger on the Apple II. Really, really fun. If you think of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, this is excellent. Oh. Oh, and the alligator blinks into existence. All right, so I'm looking over in the chat. I already see some lower ratings coming out. 3.5 stars that are out there. I wouldn't be as harsh for those because, I mean, it's still Frogger. It's still a really cool game idea. The arcade game is still fresh in everybody's mind. And obviously Pac-Man Fever's still out there, the top-down maze. But Frogger's like it was the next level. And after that, of course, is Donkey Kong. So I'm just going to say 4 stars. Of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, the Apple II version still is excellent. Oh, really? Manly's even going lower with 2.5 stars. Nice. And then I see another 3.5 as well. So a little bit harsher in the chat. I won't be as harsh. This one is still considered, it feels official Frogger. It doesn't feel as bad as some of the other Frogger variants we played. All right, let's see what our next title is. Coming up next, we're going to the Atari home computer again and play some Frogs and Flies. Someone prophesied this in the chat, and here it is. This one only has a couple screenshots because this one's a little special. Let's pop in and play some Frogs and Flies. This is by Greg Tavares. That's right, Greg Tavares of the Nighthawk group at sometime the beginning of October 1982. This one is a passion project. The Nighthawk group was essentially just a group of some high school guys that got together and wanted to hit it big developing video games. And this is one of the games that was released on bulletin board systems. So you were able to get this. It was free public domain release. So it wasn't an official commercial release. Look at this. We even have game select modes, easy or normal game. And then can we do, yeah, so we can just switch between an easy or normal. I'll do it, yeah, let's start to begin a normal game of Frogs and Flies. This one should look familiar because we saw Frogs in the arcade in October 1978. And it was released as Frog Bog on the Intellivision in June 1982. So we've already seen a couple ways to play this kind of game. Let's go into it. And there it is. We're in. Wow, this frog has ups. I think did I say a 1-player or a 2-player game? What's missing, though, is the sound. Where's the sound for the game? Maybe they didn't have any sound programmed in because it's essentially a passion project. But, I mean, you got to admit, the animation is done really well. And look at the color and graphics of the game. Very, very nice. So I'm going to plug another controller in and see if the other joystick will work for us as the second player. But you can do little hops here, but you can also do a big one that flies across, and you're meant to jump with your frog and then grab some flies. And then these guys have to be super frogs because they get in the water and they don't die, unlike other frog video game characters. There we go. Yep, you can turn left and right. Nice. Let's see what the second joystick. Yeah, it does. So it's 2 players simultaneous, just like in the arcades. So you can have both players going. I got both joysticks going at the same time. Get your jump, get your fly, and that's how you get your points. You can see on the bottom, I've only got 1 fly, so we only got 1 point. This is fun. Very, very well done. Notice that the gameplay is a little aged, though, because Frogs we saw in the arcades in October of 1978. So this is a arcade game that's much, much older. Frogger feels like, as far as gameplay, it feels a little bit more fun to play. This one is, oh, we have some sound effects. So whenever you get a fly, I know, right? It's so hard to be able to jump and time it to get the flies. When we saw this on the Intellivision, when it came home as Frog Bog, I would say the control would be even worse than this. But that was because you were playing on that Intellivision disc controller. This one feels pretty good. And yep, you have the 2 different jumps, the small little hops, and then you can do the big one to go all the way across like that. Very cool. All right, so I still wouldn't say this as a super impressive release that you could play on home computers. However, this marks the very first time you could play this game on a home computer, even though, it was released on a bulletin board system. So it was more of a freeware release, not a commercial release, but there is no other way to play this other than the arcade. You cannot play this on a home computer. It's Under Frog. Love it, Manly. So there you go. That's Frogs and Flies on the Atari home computer. The first time, or one of the first times you could play it on the home computer. Now, I'd say of all the games you could play right now, it's around average of all the titles. I mean, it's not super impressive, but you do have 2 players simultaneous play, so you and a friend could hack it out. But you got to admit, if you downloaded or if you played this on a BBS or got this on a BBS, this would be a good find. This is a really good game to find on one of those systems. So I'm going to say, of all the games so far on a home computer, 3 stars. Looking over the chat, I see mostly 3s. Yeah, very good graphically. Imtisk, you saying a little subpar, 2.5 stars, and then 3, yeah, with a friend. That's why I'm rating it, if you had a friend to play with. 3 stars for Manly, and yeah, much better, mostly average of all the games you could play right now on a home computer, but still really, really fun. All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. Hit the break key, hit escape. We're going to be playing some more and a lot more. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, let's play an official version of Frogs and Flies. And how about a bug that you wanted to play or be in the arcade and bring that home and play it for the first time at home? That's it for today, and like I always say, you'll always see me hopping back to the arcade. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.